Hello there, it's Old Sixie, or Colin Baker if you like, and welcome to my podcast, where I invite you into the TARDIS. They say that if your job is doing something you enjoy, then you'll never work a day in your life. And if that's true, then my time playing the Doctor on television, stage and audio has been a genuine joy. And one that continues to this day, not just for me, but many of the other Doctors as well. And what adventures we've all had. And this is what we're here to delve into. The Doctor's Adventures on Audio, licensed by the BBC and made by Big Finish, with the cast you saw on television returning to entertain your ears. This week, it's time for part 2 of The Great White Hurricane, starring David Bradley as the Doctor, along with Claudia Grant as the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, Gemma Powell as Barbara, and Jamie Glover as Ian Chesterton. If you missed part 1 in the best traditions of time travel, you could pop back and listen to that now. But if you're the type that doesn't mind jumping straight in, let me bring you up to speed so you can jump in. It's March 1888, and the big freeze is on in New York City. In their attempt to find out where on earth they were, Ian has been shot and Susan kidnapped by a gang member, one Patrick Ellis, who is on the run from his rivals. And whilst Barbara goes with Ian to a medical facility for aid, the Doctor, after a smart mouth exchange with the police, who are doing their best to apprehend gang members, has ended up in the cells for the night, where he meets Daniel Ellis, who is also looking for his brother, Patrick. Are you with me? Good. Circumstances forge an alliance to search for Patrick and Susan before they fall into the wrong hands. Fortunately, Daniel has an idea of where his brother might go to hide out. Barbara, whilst waiting for Ian to recover at the medical centre, meets Rosalita, a woman who has broken her leg and is trying to get back home to her son. A chance glance at Rosalita's newspaper reveals the date and the danger that they all now face. They need to escape from New York. Good title for a film, that. Anyway, now you're all caught up. I'll be back at the end of the episode with some extra content. Meantime, here's part 2 of The Great White Hurricane. Susan and Patrick are cornered, with things not looking good for them at all. And poor Rosalita, it goes from bad to worse, with her ex-husband taking her son. Oh, it's the perfect storm in every way. Now, I promised you some extra content, and like Old Sixie, I am a man of my word. And so, let's go behind the scenes with 2 of our lead actors.
I'm David Bradley, and I'm playing the Doctor. I think with all these parts, and whatever you do with it, Shakespeare, Chekhov, or Stephen Moffat, or whatever, I don't feel you own them. It's not nobody has a freehold on these parts. They're all on leasehold. So maybe someone else will come along and play William Hartnell. But for now, I feel I'm just proud to be part of a list of actors who can say they've been the Doctor. Whereas with Adventure in Space and Time, I felt I was playing an actor playing the Doctor, and it was more the story of the making, as we know. But now, having done the Christmas special and this audio version, I feel like, yes, I can say I've been the Doctor. Well, having had plenty of opportunities in the last 4 years since I did Adventure in Space and Time, I had plenty of time to view the way he was, and I had plenty of old episodes to trawl through to capture his essence, hopefully, and his spirit. And so I suppose doing something like this project, all the physical mannerisms don't mean a thing, so you've got to try and convey as much as you can vocally. And the scripts allow him to go a little bit further than I have done before in terms of the storylines, whether it's in Imperial Japan or at the moment we're in Gangs of New York territory. And it's kind of, at times, more of an emotional roller coaster for him. Story-wise, his concern and love for his granddaughter Susan seems to me much more emphasized in these stories. So I love it because you don't have to spend 2 hours putting on the wig and the costume, and it's just all pure vocals. You don't have to learn it, but it's such a pleasure to play someone who you're sort of familiar with. But there's always something new to learn about the Doctor, as I've found in the last few days doing this.
I am Jamie Glover, and I am playing Ian Chesterton. The two stories that I've done so far have been very nice. They've been very contrasting. One going into a world which seems like Earth but isn't, and one going back to a world which is Earth but not in our time. So it's been great, and that's what I know Doctor Who has done very successfully in the past, is going back to episodes of Earth's history and revisiting as a visitor. That's been a great pleasure, and going back to New York in 1888, then going into a future or a faraway world which is like ours but different enough to again do what Doctor Who does well and make it feel like something we recognise but skewing it slightly. So it's they've been great, really lovely contrasting scripts.
These are just terrific scripts, and I hope, as I feel when I'm recording them, I can see the pictures of at the moment on the streets of New York or wherever we've been. It's like as I'm doing it, it feels like a movie in my head. So I'm sure the results of what we're doing will paint a great picture for all fans and hopefully new fans.
One of the wonderful things about Big Finish is they always seem to find the perfect actor for the part. I don't know how they do it so consistently. There have been some actors that I've never heard of who 20 years ago did their first Big Finish and are now rather big stars. I do remember doing one with a young up-and-coming actor, and they said he's actually rather good. And his name was David Tennant, as I recall. He was playing someone called Daft Jamie, and along came this quiet, self-effacing young guy who played a brilliant Daft Jamie and went on to do other stuff as well, apparently. Rather well. Big Finish are very clever. So, anyone that they employ, I like to work with. And so, will Susan survive? And if the weather doesn't get her, it's almost certain a gang member will. And can Ian and Barbara help Rosalita get her son back? And what of the Doctor? Perhaps on this occasion, he really will be out of time. Find out next time as you come with me into the TARDIS. For the continuing audio adventures of Old Sixie, along with other classic and new series Who, plus podcasts and much more, be sure to visit bigfinish.com. You've been listening to Into the TARDIS, hosted by me, Colin Baker, and produced by Ian Meadows. Supervising producer was Lizzie Wursdell, and executive producers are Nicholas Briggs and Jason Hay-Gallery.